Thanks for joining us on 5 Plus. For the month of April, we're introducing you to life-changing educators. Now, they've changed the lives of students and communities, and because of them, the world is just a better place for kids. Today, we're introducing you to Dr. John L. Colbert. A few years ago, he retired as superintendent of Fayetteville schools and now has a school named in his honor. 5 News reporter Morgan Wrigley has a look at why his nearly 50-year career in education was life-changing.
That is my niche, working with kids, being that role model.
Dr. John L. Colbert recognized that he had a gift when he was in high school.
I was the vice president of the student council at Barton. And so I just had a lot of friends who had some academic problems, and so I consider myself to be an academician. And so I said, hey y'all, I want to start a tutorial program. So I started that tutorial program, and my fellow students, they really liked it.
Colbert says starting that program along with driving a school bus at 17 led him to his calling.
Those two incidents helped me decide on what I wanted to do the rest of my life, to become an educator, making a difference in the lives of kids.
And for 47 years, that's exactly what he did, with 44 of those with Fayetteville Public Schools. His legacy is visible in the school that now bears his name and in the impact he had on those around him, like Julie Brannon, who works in the Fayetteville Schools Communication Department.
Actions speak louder than words. That's what Dr. Colbert did. His actions, he believed in that his actions spoke volumes.
Colbert started his career in 1976 as a special education teacher at Bates Elementary. While there, he pushed for something that he says wasn't common at the time, fully including his students in the general education classroom.
It was very important to me that they need to be part of the whole. So inclusion was a very important step for me. And my great team, they bought into that, and so we included them in everything we did, and they were very successful.
He eventually moved into a new role, and after a few years as a principal in Fort Smith, he returned to Fayetteville to lead Jefferson Elementary, then later to open a brand new school.
When the interim superintendent says, John L., we're going to open 2 new elementary schools, and we want you to be a principal of one of those schools. And then I said, oh my God, how can I leave Jefferson? But at the same time, you know, every principal wants to have that opportunity to open a brand new school. And so when I had the opportunity to open Holcomb Elementary, it was like a dream that came true again, that hey, I was going to go in there and build this school from ground up and you know, put my brand on it, and which is still there today.
Opening a brand new school like Holcomb Elementary is a once-in-a-lifetime chance for a principal. Not very many people get to do that. Buildings last a lifetime. So to have the honor of being chosen to open a school is really a big deal, and it is a lot of work.
That's where Colbert stayed for 18 years, then stepped into administration, finally taking over as superintendent in 2018.
I was telling them, I said, now if you hire me, remember I've been a special ed teacher, I've been a regular ed teacher, I've been an associate superintendent for teachers, teaching them, and then I've been an associate superintendent for support services, that's transportation, that's cafeteria, that's everything else. I said, you will not find another person like me, because I'm well-rounded, and plus I know Fayetteville like the back of my hand. And so after that, they appointed me as the superintendent of Fayetteville Public School. Dream came true.
He always put students first. So no matter what we were thinking about, whether it was during COVID or if it was academics, it was always, you know, what do the students need? How do we support the students? And then on top of that, it goes, how do you support the teachers? How do you support the staff?
Around the same time he retired came a moment Colbert calls one of the greatest honors of his life, the naming of John L. Colbert Middle School.
It brings tears to my eyes every time I think about it. It's a great feeling. It's a great honor that they have built a school in my honor, that I'm still living, and I can see it, and people can see me.
When you talk about Dr. Colbert's legacy, you have to talk about the fact that he was the first African American, you know, to be a principal, to be assistant superintendent, to be associate superintendent, to be superintendent, and then in the end, he has a school building that's named after him.
Throughout his career, Colbert made history more than once.
There's a lot of firsts in my life, I guess, it just follows me. I was the first black valedictorian in my high school, then I came and graduated graduated and became the first African-American teacher here in special ed, became the first African-American teacher, break a classroom there at base, and then became the first African-American principal, and then superintendent, assistant superintendent, all those firsts. And it's just, I don't know, it's just feel that God had a path for me. And as I accepted those positions and realized that I was carrying the load on my shoulder for others to come and see, you know, I tried to be something like Dr. King. We realized that we set the path for others to come and enjoy life even better than what we ever enjoyed. And so I had to make sure that the things I did, it was done with excellence and making sure that people could see that I, as an African American, I was representing my people as well as representing all. You know, I wanted people to know that, hey, I'm here for all people, regardless of who you are, and we can live in a place with peace and love and harmony.
And most importantly, he remembers those who supported him along the way, his family and his wife, Cheryl.
My wife, my late wife, 42 years. A marriage. She was the person in the background, happy with her family, happy with her husband and her 2 kids. That's what was important to her. But people don't realize, even though they didn't see her, the things I did and all that, guess who was there supporting me? Guess who was there helping me? This person right here. So my journey was complete because I had a wife who was there next to me, not behind me, but next to me, encouraging me and supporting me. To make sure that I could get where I wanted to be.
In retirement, his focus on the community hasn't stopped.
My 2 daughters love them dearly, and they says, Dad, when are you actually going to retire? Because you just do it just as much as you did when you was actually being paid.
Mentoring students, leading Northwest Arkansas MLK Council and Dream Keepers, and serving at St. James Missionary Baptist Church, just to name a few of the many things he still does.
He was chosen as a Fayetteville Public Schools Outstanding Volunteer. So this year he will attend the volunteer banquet as an honoree instead of the superintendent.
As he looks to the future, Colbert hopes to see continued growth and inclusion.
I just take pride in Fayetteville. You know, we have always been leaders. We were the first one to integrate without any problems whatsoever. Unlike Little Rock, that's Fayetteville. That is Fayetteville. That's the reason why I stayed here. That's the reason why, remember, I was most of the time only African American, but I had the support of my good fellow white citizens helping me and supporting me, and they believed in me. And because of that, here I am, still in Fayetteville. Remember, people are not great just by themselves. I've done a lot, but I feel that because I've had the support of the community, white, black, brown, whatever, that's what made me feel good and great, because I had that support, and they believed in me, and they trusted in me.
And to the next generation of educators.
You would be very surprised at what the impact that you have on the lives of young people. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it's difficult. But the reward in seeing that child succeed and be successful and become a productive citizen, that makes a difference.
In Fayetteville, covering news where you live, Morgan Wrigley, 5 News.
That's the legacy of Dr. John L. Colbert, a life-changing educator. Next Thursday, we'll have the story of another educator here in our community. I'm Jo Ellison. We hope you have a great day.